The Gears 4 beta is over, and overall, we loved it. However, there are a few things that might need to change. Before I get into the meat of this commentary, be sure to like this video and share it. I want to make sure that this gets to Rod Fergusson and the Coalition, so please help me out with that. As I was writing down some things that occurred with me on my part, somebody showed me a post on Reddit going into full detail about changes that need to happen from now to the final release. So full credit goes to Reddit user The Grunt since he detailed all of the weapon and general gameplay changes, and I will be putting his post in the description. First, we'll go over some of the weapon changes. The Hammerburst felt extremely weak in the beta. It almost felt like a marshmallow shooter at times. I don't know if they decreased the damage because of complaints people had with Gears 3 or what, but it needs some sort of overhaul. Possible fix to me would be to revert this weapon back to how it was in Ultimate Edition. It wouldn't be on the same god tier as the Gears 3 Hammerburst, but will also be a reliable weapon to contend with the Lancer in terms of damage and stopping power. Second, the Gnasher felt amazingly consistent in the beta, but it also felt like it could 2 or 3 shot people from a ridiculous range. Up to and past a medium range if I'm not mistaken. It also felt like the pellet spread was way too condensed and made the game feel like Title Update 6 from Gears 2. And if anybody remembers those days, Gears 2 felt way too slow paced and became a hard aim fest due to this update. I believe they should increase the spread just a little bit so the Gnasher won't be able to down people as effectively at rifle distance. The dropshot works really well as a digger replacement honestly, and it can take some skill to use effectively, but the explosive radius on this and the boomshot are far too forgiving and remove some of the skill involved with both of these weapons. Maybe if the explosive radius was lowered a little bit, both of these weapons will be rebalanced with how Gears is played. And now we get to general gameplay. I'm not sure how many people noticed the input delay when coming off a roll or a roadie run, or pulling off of cover, but a good amount of players have experienced this, including myself and most of the Gears of War veterans who feel that this is just way too clunky compared to how fluid and smooth the rest of the game plays, and makes it feel like you're not always in control. Ultimate Edition nails the feeling of being in control at all times, and Gears 4 is seemingly taking a step backwards. I honestly think, and I'm pretty sure many others will agree with me on this, that this input delay should be removed for multiplayer. Next, we have a flinch mechanic in Gears 4. I know it was also in Gears 3, but even then, flinching caused some major inconsistencies and confusion about hitboxes, where your gun is when you shoot, and so on. This is the same as the idle state in Gears 2, where the barrel of your weapon wasn't even pointing at where you want to shoot, which is why it was removed in every game afterwards. Flinching just needs to go in Gears multiplayer, and it just causes randomness, and if the Coalition wants Gears to thrive as a competitive esport, randomness should be cut down to a bare minimum. And now we have a very polarizing subject. This mechanic is so polarizing that it has the Gears community split right down in the middle. And this mechanic is wall/air bouncing. Every game since Gears 2 has allowed air bouncing, so it's no surprise that Gears 4 followed suit. In my opinion, wall bouncing should be a risk-reward style of movement, meaning that if a bounce is timed properly, players can outmaneuver their opponents in amazing ways, but if timed incorrectly, players become predictable and make themselves an easy kill. In my opinion, I think the bouncing should be Ultimate Edition's bouncing. Ultimate Edition did wall bouncing near perfect, and I believe bouncing should stay that way for each title that the Coalition releases after this. Wall bouncing, such as this, should be perfectly fine, and honestly better than the air bouncing that we have in Gears 3 and in the Gears 4 beta. There's other things that should be changed or fixed, like the torque bow's glow, it should come back, but I left all of those in the link in the description, so feel free to give it a read. Warning though, it is pretty lengthy. And again, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to like and share. I want this to get to the Coalition as part of their feedback program. And also follow me on Twitter and Instagram, everything's down below. I hope you guys have a fantastic life, and I will see you later.
Gotcha.